Bridget Stokes is the Emmy-nominated director of a Black Lady sketch show. I'm Matt Noble of Gold Derby, and I wanted to start off by asking you, Bridget, what's your favorite genre to direct in a Black Lady sketch show? Because you cover so many.
I know, that's true. We do cover so many, and I don't think I have a favorite genre, but because, for instance, I will say whenever we got to do a horror sketch, I had a blast. But I will say the first sketch that we did, or the first sketch that aired, was Product Purge. And it was so much fun because we had 100 actors, we had several stunts, we had, these women going to an epic battle. And so that was a ton of fun to shoot. Just the kind of choreography and making sure that the action is as exciting as possible was really a blast on that one.
Yeah, what was the biggest challenge for you with that scene? Because there are just so much going on, and it's so big.
Yeah, I mean, when you have all of the components kind of coming together, the challenge is just making sure that, of course, you're keeping everybody safe. Of course, it's going to be really funny. So I think once you conquer those two things, then you're going, okay, great. And these stunts need to look amazing. And we need to fill the frame with all of these, warrior women as they're running through. But it was a credit to everybody because everybody had to bring their A game. Every department head, every member of our crew and cast on that day had to be hyper-focused to pull it off. And I think we did. I think it's a sketch I'm very proud of.
Mm. And as I said, it is a show that because it's a sketch show and because the nature of the show, you are jumping around genres from horror to action to romance to all these different things. How do you as a director approach those different genres where you're dealing with sort of 10 different things? Do you have to have a different approach to different scenes because of that, or is there sort of a bit of a through line for it all? How does that work?
Yeah, no, there is. I think the through line is the comedy, of course.
Yes.
We want to make people laugh, but everything else goes out the window. So I think the way we handled it was in pre-production, we really dove into what's the tone of each sketch. What are some reference points from each sketch from either the art world or other film and television that we've seen? What does each sketch want to feel like? And you want everyone to be its own world, and you want to build a complete world for each one. And I think on this show, one thing we always say over and over again is we can't do anything we've already done. So there's no hairstyles repeated. There's no wardrobe repeated. So it goes the same when we're establishing the tone and the genre for each sketch, that we don't want to repeat. We want you to be excited and see something new each time you watch a sketch. And so, yeah, it was the prep work that allowed us to do that. And I think having that communication early on, bringing in the production design team, bringing in the cinematographer and everybody into this, here's what the tone is. We're shooting a mini movie every day. And I think that also is what kept people engaged and excited.
Yeah, the show also has a lot of improv, from what I understand. How is that as a director, from a director's perspective, in terms of what sort of opportunities it provides, but also what challenges that might be when you've got actors throwing new things in there that you haven't heard before?
Yeah, I think, credit to our amazing writers team and our amazing cast. We were able to pull it off by going, of course, we want to honor what the writers put together and what came out of the writers' room. We want to get the words. They're hilarious, and we were all laughing as we were reading them and rehearsing them. And then the actors came so prepared and are so seasoned and good at this that once we got the words in the can, they had so much else to give. So it was just really our job to make sure we'd set the cameras in the right place and let them run with it and let them have fun after you get the script in the can. So yeah, that was our approach, and I think that worked really well. And of course, the challenge then becomes all of us behind the camera not ruining the shot by laughing, because that was our big problem, is they'd go nuts and we'd all be there like, don't ruin it, don't ruin it.
There's a big part of improv is building on ideas and like adding to and adding on. As a director, there's sort of like, I guess, an element to that too, where you got to be thinking about do you have to like, is there any way that you're involved in the improv in the sense of like you're coming up with ideas to, oh, could you try it that way or try it this way or build on this idea?
Yeah, certainly. As things occur, I love to be able to throw stuff out, but we have such a strong writers team, and our head writer is on set, and they're coming up with alts. So we have such a strong team of doing that. The onus is not on me to do it, but I'll always be the one to share the goofiest thing or the weirdest thing. Like any actor who's worked with me will be like, Bridget. Like, just try it. It could be so crazy, So I think that's very much a team effort. But we have such a strong writers team that I don't need to bring anything else to the table.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite moment that was improvised from the third season?
Oh gosh. So we had a sketch called Snitches Get Cross Stitches. And it's one of our horror comedy genres. And Robin Thede, the creator, had this amazing idea, and she asked the production design team to hide things on the set for her to find, and for Ashley, who was in the sketch with her, to find and react to. So they're in the sketch, and they start finding these tchotchke signs that have phrases on them, live, love, laugh. And they're afraid, they've never read them before, and they're reacting to them in real time. And it was one of those moments where I thought, the camera operators aren't going to be able to get this. They're laughing too hard. It was so screamingly funny. And you'll see, I think a lot of our favorite moments make it into the blooper reel at the end, or the outtakes at the end. We see a lot of the improv that didn't get into the sketch, but that is obviously hilarious, and we get a lot of extra jokes after the credits roll.
Yeah. You directed all 6 episodes of the third season. Sort of, what was that like, sort of not just sort of coming in for one episode to direct, but getting to oversee the whole season? And was it able to ensure some consistency throughout, or?
It was a dream for me. Obviously, to be able to be entrusted with the entire season, to create the title sequence, to really be able to see a through line wherever possible, to have the relationships I had. I think it's a wonderful way for me to work, and I enjoy guest directing, but to not come in and everybody else is ahead of you and knows what they're doing, to come in and really understand from A to Z how the show has gone, I think was such a gift. Yeah, I loved it.
And Bridget, you have been nominated for an Emmy Award for Best Directing in a variety series. So congratulations on that. Where were you when you found out about the nomination?
I was in the car, and I said, I'm refreshing. I'm trying to find out. And I get a call from Robin Thede, the creator, and I answer the call, and it's just screaming, and then I'm screaming, and I don't even know why I'm screaming, but I think I know why I'm screaming. And Robin's like, you're nominated, we're nominated, the show has 5 nominations. And it was such a celebration, and it hasn't stopped since. It's been such a treat, and I'm so honored and blown away by the recognition.
Yeah. And what does that sort of recognition mean to you for yourself, but also the show?
It's so important for me that the show be recognized. I think it's such a special show. One of the reasons I was so excited to be involved in the show is that you get to see Black women in all the roles. And so there's a lot of genres where we don't have Black women as main characters so often, sci-fi and horror and action. And on this show, you come in and they get to take center stage every time. So I'm really proud of being part of a show that showcases these really talented Black women, and I'm really excited that that's being recognized in the larger world.
And how is that important for sort of the show also has a Black woman director as well, like not just How's it important that it's got you as a Black woman director as well? So it's not just in front of the camera where you've got these Black voices, but also behind the camera.
Yeah, yeah. And the show, the producer, Robin Thede, have always done a really good job in making sure that Black women are behind the camera in every and any role possible. So I think that's part of, that's an expansion of the world that we're showing you on screen, is that we're also doing the behind the scenes stuff. So it's really crucial to me. And I think we're doing, an exciting thing. And yeah, once again, it's just really nice to be recognized for it.
The episode you are nominated for is the series premiere, which does have that product purge scene, which it opens with. Is there another favorite or enjoyable scene you have from that episode?
It's such a good episode. Some of the things that I enjoy about the episode overall is we get to bring back Dr. Hadassah, one of my favorite characters. We have dozens of guest actors, I believe, in that episode. Wanda Sykes, David Allen Greer, Mike Leahy, is endless amounts of guest actors just in Product Purge, endless amounts of Jamel Hill. And so that's really exciting. I loved working on Didn't Figures. The VFX and special effects and camera tricks we used in that one to have people disappearing in and out were really fun to plot out and plan. And then, there's some sketches like Track Girl Magic that end up with a ton of improv you didn't expect that makes it in. And creating with, we had the guest actor Carrie Champion come in, and we're doing a sort of sports documentary. And to go from a big action sketch to a sports documentary sketch and, a straight comedy, it's hard to pick one. I really enjoy each sketch for what it is.
Well, like as a now Emmy-nominated director, Bridget, were there any television shows or anything that you watched sort of growing up that made you want to get into television or get into directing?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I will say the most formative films when I was younger, I broke the VHS tape for the original Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original Willy Wonka, and Never Ending Story. And I think what the films that made me want to direct was, going into college and taking my first film class and watching Citizen Kane and watching international films that I'd never had access to, and kind of realizing the possibilities are endless. And you could kind of choose this career and kind of have every career in the world, because you go and do a deep dive on several different things over the course of your work.
Yeah, and what with a Black Lady sketch show, what have the possibilities been?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
It's sort of like you talked about like possibilities are endless is something that you sort of like from watching these films, and with a Black Lady sketch show, you get to do a lot of different stuff. So how sort of those endless possibilities being realized in the
You're
show?
so right. It's the manifestation of that. Usually you think, I have to go, I'll finish one project and then I'll go to the next to do something different. But I got to do something different every day. We got 40 days in a row, I think, of different things. So and it was a gift, just, pulling genres and tones and creating worlds and being able to go from one to the next. And truly we spent one day a sketch. Sometimes on rare occasions we'd shoot 2 sketches in a day, but you're in a whole new world every day.
Yeah. Oh, so that's it. Do you have like we talked a bit about like your some of the sketches you like and stuff, but is there like one that just when you go back to it each time it makes you laugh?
The Dr. Hadassah one.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh every time. As soon as, her future husband walks through the door and they have their interaction and it's in a classroom in front of children, it makes me cry laughing every time.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. Is there something that you haven't done on the show that you're hoping to do? Like that you didn't get a because you've done so
Oh,
much.
I know. That's so funny. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I think we got to do so much on the show. I would come back to this show endlessly, simply to have the opportunity to dive into more worlds and see. And the gift is that the writers' room keeps on giving you new stuff and keeps on giving you these crazy worlds to create. So yeah, I think I would like to do a game show at some point. Might be fun. Yeah, I want whatever they throw at me.
Oh, fantastic. And finally, Bridget, what has this show? What do you think is the most important thing about a Black Lady sketch show?
I think we touched on it a little. I think the most important, well, I will say this. I will say the most important thing about Black Lady Sketch Show is to make people laugh very hard so that they're rolling around on the floor and crying. That's the most important thing. And when have we ever needed to laugh more? So yeah, that's our goal. It's what we keep coming back to. We keep asking, is it funny? Because at the end of the day, we could do something very pretty and very epic and very cinematic or very scary, but if you're not laughing, we haven't done our job. So I think that is the most important thing that we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Well, Bridget, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. People watching
Thank
this
you, Pat.
interview, people watching this interview can go to goldderby.com to make your awards predictions and to join the discussions in our forums. And Bridget, all the best of luck for the Emmy Awards
Thank
in
you so
September.
much. It'll be fun.